Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're all doing fine. Welcome back to the channel. This is the House of Law. If you are new to the channel, I'm Attorney Al Jumrani. I'm a lawyer and law professor. I make videos about the law, about law subjects, and about legal issues. So I hope you enjoy your stay here, and if you're enjoying my videos, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell so that you will be notified in case I upload a new video. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I'd like to talk about legal ethics, more specifically, the duties of a lawyer to the legal profession.
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
The Code of Professional Responsibility prescribes 4 duties. First, duties to society. Second, duties to the legal profession. Third, duties to the courts. And fourth, duties to the clients. If you're a law student, a lawyer in waiting, or a licensed lawyer, this video will be a good review and reminder of what a lawyer owes to the other members of the bar. So if you're ready, let's begin. There are 3 applicable canons: Canon 7, Canon 8, and Canon 9. Canon 7 provides that a lawyer shall at all times uphold the integrity and dignity of the legal profession and support the activities of the integrated bar. Canon 8 states that a lawyer shall conduct himself with courtesy, fairness, and candor towards his professional colleagues and shall avoid harassing tactics against opposing counsel. And Canon 9 states that a lawyer shall not directly or indirectly assist in the unauthorized practice of law. In sum, Canons 7 to 9 deal with the ethical rules and standards that lawyers must observe in their professional activities and dealings. Personal activities are also covered when they have the tendency to affect or reflect on the moral fitness of a lawyer to remain in the profession. The canons also mention that lawyers in the government and public prosecution are likewise bound by these ethical rules and standards. Now let's look at Canon 7. Canon 7 mandates lawyers to support the integrated bar of the Philippines and to maintain its dignity and solidarity. Jurisprudence is replete with cases where the integration of the Philippine bar was challenged but sustained, where the legality of IBP elections was questioned and annulled, as well as cases where the right to join and not to join was raised. But in the end, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of integrating the bar and the duty of every lawyer to become and remain a member in good standing. Speaking of lawyers in good standing, Canon 7 also reminds lawyers that the requirement of good moral character exists even before becoming a member of the bar. Hence, when a lawyer committed a falsehood in his application to take the bar, this falsehood is a ground for disciplinary actions, including disbarment. Before taking the bar exams, a candidate has to file an application and state under oath the following. First, that he is a citizen of the Philippines. Second, that he is at least 21 years of age. Third, that he is of good moral character. Fourth, that he is a resident of the Philippines. And fifth, that no charges against him involving moral turpitude have been filed or are pending in any court in the Philippines. Any falsehood in the application is a ground to disqualify a candidate or to revoke a license already acquired. It is like your past hunting your present. So, honesty still and will always be the best policy. Moreover, lawyers are discouraged from supporting the application of unqualified persons. Every year, I sign several certificates of good moral character of my former students who are applying to take the bar exam. Thus, I make sure that I remember them and I personally know them to be of good moral character. Still, on good moral character, Canon 7 forbids lawyers from engaging in such conduct that will adversely affect their fitness to practice law and will impair the public's trust and confidence in the legal profession. This covers both professional and personal conduct. You see, there's a thin line that separates the personal life and the professional life of a lawyer. That is why, in a number of cases, lawyers were disciplined for avoidance of debt, issuance of bouncing checks, and for engaging in infidelity or adulterous conduct. So, next is Canon 8. Canon 8 deals with the relationship of a lawyer with his professional colleagues. A lawyer should constantly observe respect and courtesy towards other lawyers. Canons 8.1 and 8.2 both discourage lawyers from using offensive and abusive language and from unnecessarily and unreasonably interfering with the business of other lawyers. It is important that professional courtesy is maintained in the legal profession. I mean, is it not enough na nag-aaway ang mga clients? Pati ba naman ang mga lawyers nag-aaway din? Huwag ganun, besh! Lastly, Canon 9 refers to the prohibited and unauthorized practice of law. This canon is a ground for administrative sanctions and is imposed on the lawyer who permits or abets the unauthorized practice of law of one who has not been admitted to the bar. As for the person who is guilty of the act of unauthorized practice, he can be held criminally liable for estafa. As lawyers who are mandated to maintain the integrity and honor of the legal profession, they must be the first to fight the unauthorized practice of law. There are indeed a lot of persons posing as lawyers preying on the poor, the uninformed, and the desperate. Fake notaries or even lawyers supposedly offering to solemnize marriages and at the same time offering annulment services, ang dami nila. So check nyo muna sila, besh. The names of lawyers can be checked at the Supreme Court website. You can find my name there, that is, if you know my complete name. Okay, so that's the substantive part of this video. Let's look at some hypothetical problems. Okay, first, a lawyer is approached by a friend who has a case being handled by another lawyer. The friend expressed his concerns and disappointments about the current handling lawyer. If you were the lawyer friend and you believe that the current handling lawyer could have done better, will you accept the engagement? Why? What steps will you take to avoid violating the code of ethics? Now, remember that I said that a lawyer should not unjustifiably and unreasonably interfere with the business of another lawyer. I mean, syempre pagka may kliyente siya, kanya yan, let him do his job. And ikaw din, pagka may kliyente ka, that's your responsibility. You can expect that no lawyer will interfere or mangingialam kung paano mo hinahandle ang case. So, you should remember that rule, no? A lawyer should not interfere with the business of another lawyer. But in the problem given, a friend was concerned about his case. And so, ang iniisip niya, naku, paano, baka matalo ako, maybe my lawyer is not doing a good job. So, as a lawyer being consulted about the performance or the services of another lawyer, I would advise the client first, okay, to discuss his issues with his lawyer. I could also advise the proper procedure to suggest these steps or these recommendations. But ultimately, it is that other lawyer who has the sole prerogative and discretion on how to handle the case. After all, pinag-aralan naman niya yung kaso, meron din siya naisip siguro na strategy. So, let him do his job. But, it's a different thing when a lawyer is being asked to take over the case. Because if that happens, there's a procedure. The former lawyer should be informed of the client's intention to terminate his services. Now, that lawyer should be allowed to formally withdraw his appearance in that case by filing the proper pleading. Now, remember, a lawyer is at the behest or at the pleasure of the client. So the client can decide to terminate the lawyer's services anytime, provided, of course, the client meets his or her obligations to the lawyer by paying his attorney's fees and all that. Ayan. So that's my answer to the first question. Now, the second question is, a lawyer is also a businessman, and because of this COVID-19 crisis, he laid off or retrenched his employees and closed shop. He, however, failed to pay his employees their separation benefits due to lack of funds. A labor case was filed with the NLRC in which the employees won. Then a disbarment case was filed against the said lawyer. Will this disbarment case prosper? Why? Well, my answer to this question is that it depends. If the retrenchment and if the failure or refusal to pay separation benefits was in good faith, then this lawyer cannot be administratively charged. You know, everyone suffered from the COVID-19 crisis, not just businesses, but also professional services like those of lawyers. So if the lawyer acted in all good faith in the retrenchment and in his failure to pay the separation benefits, then the disbarment case will not prosper. It's a different thing, however, if that lawyer used his knowledge of the law in retrenching or in terminating these employees and in avoiding separation benefits. You see, a lawyer should not use his legal knowledge to commit a wrong or to perpetuate fraud. You know, a lawyer is supposed to be the first person to comply with the law. Yan. So that's my answer to this question. The third question is, for making a false certification of non-forum shopping, a lawyer was suspended from the practice of law for 6 months. However, during that period, he kept on notarizing documents. Is he guilty of unauthorized practice of law? Why? Well, my answer is yes, he is guilty of unauthorized practice of law. One of the requirements, if not the most essential requirement of being appointed a notary public, is that you must be a member of the bar in good standing and that you must be allowed to practice law. And here, he was suspended from the practice of law for 6 months. And notarization, as I've said, is a practice of law. So that's why he committed an authorized practice of. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video on the lawyer and the legal profession. If you did, please drop a like and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And please click that notification bell so that you will be notified in case I upload a new one. Laging tatandaan, isip ay buksan, alamin ang batas.
Dile dile, dile dile yo al gal, mile mile, mile mile pe mai